welcome back to Tabletop 24, welcome back to the UKGE show at Floor. I'm here with Dave of Sinister Fish Games, who has done a trilogy of games that we've really enjoyed so far. But tell us what's coming soon as well.
We might have pulled in Hawken as well.
Yeah.
Well, so the next thing we've got coming is the release of and fulfillment of Moon,
Yeah.
which was on Kickstarter last year. And it kind of finishes off the magnificent trilogy, which we haven't got a name for. Well, we planned it in advance, I promise.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what can we do in Moon?
So Moon is a lunar base building game. So we're aiming to have the most popular base on the Moon, which will hopefully become the capital city of the Moon. And it's kind of like a tongue-in-cheek sci-fi themed card drafting game, which has loads of cool little things that I haven't seen in card drafting before. Loads of nice combos. People have compared it to Seven Wonders. I think it's a bit heavier than Seven Wonders, and I think it has some similarities to Terraforming Mars, maybe, but not as heavy as Terraforming Mars. It sits nicely in between those two, I think.
Yeah, I think if you told everybody it's Seven Wonders but more, they would. You get on board whether you know whether you're going to like
Seven
it.
Wonders in space plus a bit,
Yeah.
The tableau is more interactive than in Seven Wonders.
Yeah.
There's stuff happening there all the time instead of just lying there. And,
yeah, right. You can do like worker placement on each other's tableaus and things.
There's a lot more interactivity, and not in Seven Wonders. Obviously, it's left and right, and that's it.
Yeah.
Whereas here, you can go across the board for everybody else, which is
that's correct. Yeah.
which is great. So, Moon finishes off the trilogy.
Yeah.
And what else is coming from Sinister Fish?
So we've got a game coming up on Kickstarter in a few weeks called Wizards & Co, which is from a group of Italian designers who've done games like Coimbra, Alma Mater, Egizia. One of them was a co-designer on one of my favourite games, Grand Austria Hotel. So I'm really stoked to have been able to work with them. And it was a game that we signed just after Villagers, so it's been a long time coming, and they've been very, very patient with me.
Good.
And I got to work with Miguel Coimbra, the artist, who did Seven Wonders and Small World, among many others, which was a delight, because I figured the game has got loads of goofy fantasy creatures and monsters in it, and I'm a big fan of Small World, so my first thought was Miguel. So yeah, he did a great job on the artwork. We've got some of the sort of an early edition of the game here, which seems to be going down well. We're doing demos here, but yeah, that is a game of. Again, I don't like to compare to other games, but
Every game's unique in its own way.
It helps. So it kind of has elements of Libertalia, and Smash Up maybe, something like that. So you're a greedy wizard and you're raiding these tombs and castles and dungeons by sending your creatures in. So you have these octagonal dungeon boards. You're placing your creatures around the board, and when all the available spaces are filled, the dungeon resolves in clockwork order. So the creatures have special abilities that pop off. Depending on who's left when the dust settles, you're going to gather treasure, magic artifacts that can help you throughout the game. You're collecting gems that score you points for sets at the end of the game. And it comes with so each player has a deck of 10 creatures, and in every game the decks are identical. So you can do some really awful, unfair things to each other. But because you can do the same awful, unfair things to each other, I think it kind of balances out. I don't know whether it's still a Euro, but it's zero luck pretty much. It's pretty much open information. Although you can play cards face down to kind of try and get one up on your opponents, but there's no dice or anything like that. So while it is a kind of very in your face,
Take
head to head, take that kind of game. I've not really seen it done in this way before.
All the best Euros always have a little bit of no thank you, have that type thing. So that's brilliant. But obviously the other thing with Sinister Fish, everybody knows you from the Kickstarters that you've done.
Yep.
But you're obviously doing a lot of more direct to retail lines as well.
We've just started doing that. Yeah. So that's something that I'll continue dabbling with. So we've done a kids game called Honk.
Yeah.
Which was kind of designed to be playable for kids and bearable for adults, which I think it achieves, and it's nominated for an Origins Award for Best Children's Game. So we've got our fingers crossed for that.
Which is great.
But that was nice, and I was really stoked for the designer because it's his first published game. But he pitched the game to me at a time when my son was really into geese. So yes, I played it with my son.
Pull on the heartstrings to get signed.
So it was fate. Yeah, and we've got the second edition of the first game that we ever did, which is my game that I designed, Great Scott, which kind of decided things for me that I wasn't going to design games anymore and just do publishing. Yeah, and other than that, we're going to be continuing to do a game with Håkon next year, which is it's kind of complete, isn't it, more or less?
Yes, I just need to do all the artwork and
Yeah, just all the artwork.
the rule book. And
Yeah, but
yeah, we played it. And
there is a playable game on Tabletop Simulator,
yeah,
and it's a cracker. It really is.
Okay.
We can't. We're not saying
Not
anything
saying
about
about that, but yeah.
No,
If it's come from Harkin, it's definitely going to be a cracker. We know that.
Yeah, it is definitely a Håkon game.
Yeah.
Like it has his fingerprints on it.
Yes.
But it's different to anything else that you've done. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good one.
Brilliant. Well, thanks both for that time.
You're welcome.
Okay, so obviously check out the Wizard & Co. Kickstarter when that comes up. Moon will be in retail stores, hopefully fairly soon as well. And stay tuned for the new upcoming duet that's going to be coming. So
Yeah.
check out the videos from the convention and we'll catch you next time. Take care.